And now we'll transition to the Navy and Marine Corps. The Navy received the largest chunk of funding among the service branches in FY14. Base budget request of $156 billion is about even with last year. The President's budget request for the Navy aims to shore up needed investment in key technological areas of capability and support the Pentagon's broader strategy involving a shift to the Pacific theater. Of course, how fast we get there depends on the availability of resources and funding. And you'll notice O&M accounts for over a quarter of the base budget, and about 18% is dedicated to procurement. Now, looking over at the IT budget, we actually face about an 8% drop from last year. This should come as no surprise, as Navy CIO Terry Halverson has said repeatedly that the Navy needs to make cuts to the $7 to $8 billion they spend on IT each year. To cut costs, the Navy is increasing its use of enterprise software licensing agreements and LPTA as an acquisition strategy. It's leaning on data center and application consolidations as well as cloud adoption to squeeze out as much savings as possible. IT infrastructure maintenance dominates the BRM categories, followed by battlespace networks, logistics management, and C2. And this is in keeping with the major themes of DoD that we mentioned: common operating environments, infrastructure consolidation, and storage. These programs and buckets of money reside, for the most part, within the Navy and Marine Corps systems commands. The Navy's systems commands report to Naval Operations, and the Marine Corps Systems Command, or MARCORSYSCOM, reports to the Marine Corps Commandant. Now, these organizations are the department's acquisition commands and perform a variety of important functions, which we'll discuss shortly with further information in the planner. The CIOs are Terry Halverson. He's the Department of Navy CIO. His deputy is Janice Haith, and her Information Dominance Office resides within the Chief of Naval Operations. Also, Brigadier General Kevin Nally is the Marine Corps CIO.
And the Naval Sea Systems Command is the largest of the Navy's 5 system commands and is headquartered here in the Washington Navy Yard. Now, in light of the recent shootings there, NAVSEA is considering dispersing some of its personnel, so not everyone will be operating at the Navy Yard. But NAVSEA does have an annual budget of about $30 billion, which accounts for almost 20% of the Navy's total budget, total base budget. Now, NAVSEA is responsible for the Navy ships, submarines, and their combat systems, and they also manage Seaport E, which of course is the Navy's largest IT contract vehicle. Now, it's important to note what the systems commands do and what their focus areas are. The system commands are right there in the trenches developing the resources that the Navy needs to do its work. And one of the priorities over the next couple of years, like the Air Force and Army, is warfighting system commonality. So you definitely notice a trend there. So NAVSEA is looking to industry for help in figuring out ways to standardize hardware and software components across combat systems to reduce costs and take advantage of a shared network environment. Now we're going to go ahead and move forward to the Naval Air Systems Command, which of course is located at Patuxent River. Now it purchases technology to support naval aviation and weapons systems. Major IT insertion points within NAVAIR are the PEOs highlighted here along the left side of your screen, as well as the Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division, or NAWCAD. Now NAWCAD by itself has a $5 billion budget, which it spends on procurement and R&D for ship-to-shore-to-air integration and avionics. Then Naval Supply Systems Command focuses on technology procurements to support global logistics, supply chain, and inventory management. So NAVSUP provides the information systems through its Business Systems Center, or BSC, and the BSC is responsible for designing, developing, and maintaining information systems that support the numerous CONUS and OCONUS activities in functional areas of logistics, transportation, finance, and accounting. Now, unlike mission-funded programs that receive appropriations directly from Congress, NAVSUP relies on its Naval Working Capital Fund, which actually relies on revenue from the services it provides, much like DISA does.
The Space and Naval Warfare Systems Command, or SPAWAR, delivers IT products and services to the fleet and other DoD stakeholders. Their main focus is on how to achieve efficiencies and savings to strengthen the program Navy cares most about. SPAWAR has plans to reduce the Navy's IT footprint via application and data center consolidation and improving interoperability. Of particular interest to the product community will be the CIO office led by Kimberly Kessler. She's responsible for network management, information assurance, application and data management, and IT policy. SPAWAR has a close working relationship with PEO C4I and PEO EIS. Rear Admiral Boris Becker runs PEO C4I and is in charge of an office presiding over systems and programs that provide C4I to Navy assets afloat and ashore. PEO EIS, managed by Vic Gavin, administers a smaller number of programs, but many of them are quite large. His office controls a $2 billion annual portfolio, and his office focuses on purchasing commercial technologies for Navy's networks. Vic Gavin recently stated that the Navy has more of a business problem than a problem of technology. They own the business of submarines and torpedoes, but they don't own the best business practices for IT procurement. And they plan to realize incremental savings by continuing to leverage LPTA as an acquisition strategy and efficiently procuring COTS products. Just like anyone else, they want the best products, the best security, the most robust capabilities, but all acquisition will be driven by cost. Marine Corps Systems Command is the acquisition branch of the Marine Corps for IT systems. And they purchase technology utilizing the Seaport E contract vehicle. It's commanded by Brigadier General Kelly, who answers directly to the 4-star Commandant of the Marine Corps. As you can see, I've highlighted a couple of key insertion points within the organization. Jim Smerchansky is the Deputy Commander of Systems, Engineering, Interoperability, Architectures, and Technology, or DCSIAT. His office is charged with ensuring Marine Corps systems interoperability with coalition and joint forces in pursuing S&T transition opportunities for Marine Corps systems. The CIO for the command is Lieutenant Colonel Jamie Marcole. In addition to running the Marine Corps' data center operations teams, he works in close collaboration with General Nally towards strengthening cyber security management and technical controls for the protection of mission essential systems. Also, the Marine Corps Enterprise Information Technology Services Program, or MAKITS, hosts Marine Corps specific hardware and software, and it's also run out of this command.
And the last IT insertion point for the Navy that we'll cover today is the 10th Fleet, which of course is part of the 4 service components of U.S. Cybercom. It serves as the central operational authority for naval networks and information operations and electronic warfare. Now, the Marine Corps is of course also represented in the 4 service components of U.S. Cybercom with their division, the Marine Corps Forces Cyberspace Command, or MAR4 Cybercom. And MAR4 Cybercom is made up of one command element, which is the Marine Corps Network Operations Security Center, or MCNOSC. Now let's move on to some of the contracts that the Navy prefers to leverage for its acquisitions. Navy obligates an average of $100 billion a year on contracts. You can see here that Seaport E was the most heavily leveraged vehicle with about $6.5 billion in FY12. Now, Navy hopes to save $100 million over the next 5 years through leveraging or more heavily leveraging enterprise license agreements. Microsoft and Oracle signed the first department-wide software ELAs, with more soon to follow. Now, the hope here is that by leveraging the full purchasing capacity of the department, the Navy and Marine Corps can optimize cost savings. Here's a chart looking at Navy top contractors. You'll see HP, Lockheed, and SAIC are the prime movers and shakers. HP's position is in large part due to the NMCI Continuity of Services contract, and then HP did win the NGEN Enterprise Services Award, which is currently under protest.
As Tim mentioned, the use of ELAs are now mandated, and the Microsoft and Oracle deals were just the beginning. Also, like all other federal agencies, data center consolidation and application rationalization are top priorities. The Navy plans to close 58 data centers over the next 3 years, with the remaining enterprise data centers taking on more duties. So we may see more opportunities in virtualization and cloud computing. In fact, Terry Halverson has mandated that the department submit plans for virtualization of all servers and server-based systems and applications by the end of FY17. Finally, strong cybersecurity is high on everyone's list as the Navy consolidates its networks and computing platforms. So the first Navy program we wanted to talk about is NGEN. The program is run out of PEOC EIS under the Naval Enterprise Networks Office. Philip Anderson, who was the deputy of that office, took over as program manager of NGEN this past summer. NGEN will replace NMCI, which handles 70% of all Navy IT operations and is the largest intranet in the world. Not surprisingly, NGEN is the Navy's largest IT program in terms of investment, with nearly $1.8 billion in FY14. Right now, as Tim mentioned, the continuity of services contract is maintaining the services that will be assumed by Engine. The Navy sees the acquisition approach for Engine as a path towards aligning with the JIE's goals of improving operational efficiency, enhancing network security, and cost savings. FY14 work will see work being done on the backbone infrastructure. So obviously this is a very infrastructure, network management, and data management heavy opportunity. In addition, this year we're going to see software licenses purchased via the DoD ESI for up to 300,000 users.
And another major investment for the Navy this year is going to be CANES. So CANES is the afloat counterpart to NGEN. So if NGEN is the Navy's intranet on land, CANES is going to be the Navy's network afloat by 2020. So the Navy's been working with numerous afloat networks, but now they're trying to create a universal computing environment aboard ships for command, control, intelligence, and logistics. Now, the thinking behind CANES is that consolidation, of course, will bring down costs and maintenance requirements and reduce training needs. The program is managed out of PEO C4I and led by Captain DJ Legoff. Full deployment awards are expected mid-January, and they will fund network equipment as well as systems consolidation, virtualization, and systems management products. Now, also, the program office's goal is for small business to make up about 37% of the subcontracted effort. And I have to say that this is a notion that we're going to have to be comfortable with. Rational or not, DoD's thinking is that small business equals small cost and big business equals big cost. So everyone in this room would behoove themselves by establishing partnerships with small business. But that's an aside. The CANES program will see hardware refreshes every 4 years and software refreshes every 2. And the intent is to use infrastructure and platform as a service so we can be on the lookout for some of those cloud opportunities. In FY14, the program requested about $410 million, so a lot of funding for the coming year.
CAX-2S is a theater battle management system. It's managed out of the Marine Corps PEO for land systems, which works closely with Marine Corps systems commands and provides closer coordination of the Marine ground and air command and control systems and centers. The system is designed to be scalable and flexible with an open architecture design that can be deployed on just about any type of vehicle. The program spent about $83.6 million in FY13 and requested about $57 million this year. The program is fully funded and is on track for full deployment in 2015. Some of the priorities for the year are replacing legacy aviation and command and control equipment. Additionally, program managers are exploring potential hardware and software solutions to replace their aging voice video network system. CAX-2S is designed to provide Marine Corps operators the ability to share voice, video, and sensor data and information to integrate air and ground combat planning and operations. So you can see how CAX-2S contributes to the overall theme, overall focus on developing common operating environments.